Guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 4, Thursday night football. We have a fantastic game between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. 3.5-point favorites are the Bengals. Gonna have potentially a lot of scoring in this one because of the weapons that are in play. I love showdowns like this, where we have good young quarterbacks, we have superstar wide receivers, we have big playability, we've got some solid running backs, everything on the table to make this a really fantastic Thursday night meal. I'm gonna order some hot wings. I'm gonna get all into this. Let's go.
He's a legend.
You know, I've been starting these with a pick 'em on underdog every one of these videos, but because of the uncertainty around Tua Tagovailoa, there are no props up for the Miami side of this game. Tua left the game with a head injury that now they're saying was a back injury. Maybe he got a backiotomy or whatever at halftime and came back into the game, even though he probably shouldn't have come back into the game. But here we are. I have nothing that I can tell you from this standpoint. As you know, unders are definitely the sharper play. I want to bet the overs. I'll get one of these out. I'll put it up before Thursday night football on the community posts. Okay, I'll post one of these of what I'm going to play for Thursday night. But if you want to go over to Underdog Fantasy and load up on your account or a brand new account, you can use promo code ALSMIZZLE, ALSMIZZLE. That'll get you a $100 bonus, up to a $100 bonus on your first deposit to the site. You can play everything that they have over there, the battle royales or the pick'ems. You guys know I'm going to be doing the hires because screw punts. I want nothing to do with punts and field goals. I want all this. Like, I would probably go higher on T. Higgins, and I really want the other side. I kind of want Jalen Waddle, wherever they're going to put him on catches or overs, and probably the quarterback. We're going to have to wait for that. So, like, right now, I'll tease you T. Higgins, and I'll fill in the rest as the week goes on. Make sure that you go enter the Smizz Gang Listener League. I cannot explain to you how happy I am that you guys are filling this tournament, but, like, it's filling really, really early, so I don't want you to get locked out. Go to smizzle.tv/links, and you'll find the link to go join the listening. It is right down below in the pinned comment and also in the description if you click show more on the description. $10 entry fee, 3 max lineups, 4,500 entries to this one, and 100% of the money that comes in gets paid right back out. Absolutely no rake. The best tournament that exists on DraftKings. Don't get locked out of this one. They made it 500 people bigger, but like versus where I recorded this video last week and where it is right now, we're like 500 ahead on entries right now. So like, all those extra spots that they filled or that they gave to us have already been filled, and this filled last week on like Friday evening. So go reserve your 3 spots today for the listening, smizzle.tv/links. And while you're there at the link tree, click like everything else. Follow my Instagram. Go follow me on Twitch. That's where I live stream 6 days a week, Monday through Friday in the mornings, and then 45 minutes before lock. Join our Discord. And if you're a channel member here on the channel, you get access in Discord to all of those VIP channels. That's kind of where I hang out in the Discord with everybody else that's in the Smizz Gang as well. Taking a look at this slate, man, this is a tasty one. It really is, right? So, like, first of all, he's good, right? We like Jamar Chase. He's a good wide receiver. I really enjoy what he does when they throw him the football. It's kind of fun to watch. And extra added bonus, I don't know how much points over expectation this is going to add, but the Bengals are wearing their all white uniforms on Thursday night, the white helmets with the black stripes. They're going to be like those the Siegfried and Roy Tigers that were at the Mirage back in the day. That's what we got. We got snow tigers. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait for this. So Jamar Chase, really good at football. 16 targets, 9 targets, 10 targets. How he got 29 yards on 6 receptions, 10 targets. Like, I don't know how this happened, but kudos to the Jets defense for not allowing him on 6 catches to have like 120 yards. But big time passing game threat, 4-point average. That's not going to sustain. He is more like a 12 to 15, 13 to 16 yard per catch guy. They will continue to target him down the field. But teams are trying to take that away from him, which is leading to a lot of more T. Higgins. T. Higgins is actually better stats than Jamar Chase in terms of catches per game, yards per game, catch percentage since week 12 of last year. He also could have spiked a touchdown this week, but it was not called a touchdown, so it is what it is. This is just a great spot to play all these superstars and captains. So, like, I will focus on the captains that we're going to play. And there's a lot of them in this game, right? So Jamar Chase, anytime that you're using Jamar Chase, if he is going to be the captain, and I want to focus on the highest potential scorers, right? And target them as my captain. So looking at this situation, if Jamar Chase has one of those alpha games, right, where he goes for like 8 catches or 6 catches for like 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, where he is the optimal captain, then Joe Burrow is also going to have a playable game and probably be in that optimal lineup as well. So if you're playing this pass catcher and captain, make sure that you're including Joe Burrow in that lineup. The same thing goes for Tyreek Hill. He's also been very, very good. Not a great human, but like really, really good football player. And from a DFS perspective, quite the slate breaker, averaging, even though he's only been above 100 yards one time, he's averaging 105 on the season because of the ridiculous 11 catch, 190 yard outburst 2 weeks ago against Baltimore. Baltimore, as long as they're hurt, are going to be somebody that we pick on. But like Tyreek Hill has basically come out and said that he's got something for Eli Apple and he really wants to go at him. Now, part of me likes that from the perspective that like they want to go after him and like he wants to get into it and he wants to, you know, the offense is going to have to run through him a little bit more, possibly like more like it did in week 1 and 2 than it did in week 3 against Buffalo. But I think there's also a potential downside here. When players get too up for a matchup, you can have situations where now it gets a little bit out of hand and they get a little bit too frisky and possibly get tossed, kind of like that Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore thing. That's a rivalry that's been built up constantly. And now this Tyreek Hill, Eli Apple thing is a thing. And I'm hoping that Tyreek keeps it under control because I don't want to see somebody get kicked out of a game, especially as impactful a player as he is. Same situation. I don't know. The big elephant in the room right now is Tua Tagovailoa going to be the guy who starts because of the weird situation? Now, it's back in limited participation. It's a back and ankle injury. Sure, he banged his head on the turf and then he looked like a drunk boxer. So like we all know what's happening. They said he's not in concussion protocol. He's past all that. So assuming that he plays this Thursday, and the line will change and expectations will change. You saw that Underdog has no lines up for this game right now because of the way that things may change due to that. You have a situation where all of the Dolphins expectations, pass catchers, change if Tua's the quarterback or if it's Teddy Two Gloves. So like they priced Teddy Two Gloves up to kind of match this pricing, which is a good thing because you don't want him like to be priced at like 4K. Like you see like Burrow's at 96, but like his backups are 6K. If Bridgewater was 6K coming into this situation with Tua having this big red questionable by him, that's a different story. For the sake of this video, I am working under the assumption that Tua is playing until they tell us that he is not. So Tua has to be in any of my Tyreek Hill at captain lineups. And it would also have to be there with Jalen Waddle. Non-participant on Monday. We'll monitor this practice situation as the week goes on. He's been outstanding opposite Tyreek Hill. The same situation that is happening in Philadelphia, where Devontae Smith, an extremely talented route runner and a very powerful, strong wide receiver from a technique standpoint, from a route running standpoint, and from a contested catch standpoint, has blossomed on the other side of an alpha in AJ Brown, where he's not dealing with double coverage. He's not dealing with safeties rolled over the top, and he's not dealing with other teams' alpha cornerbacks. Jalen Waddle gets the same sort of treatment. He gets to operate opposite Tyreek Hill, where everybody's got to worry about Tyreek. And then look, Jalen Waddle finds ways to get open and has massive big playability, but has gotten a ton of targets, 30 of them through the first 3 weeks. Now I know 19 of them came in 1 week, and like that's skewing all the short sample size totals that we have, but this is not about short sample size. 42-yard catch in week 1, 59-yard catch in week 2, 45-yard long in week 3. This kid has big playability and is getting volume in an offense that shows no signs of slowing down, and Cincinnati has had some trouble. There's a lot of potential captains on this slate. If you're still watching the video, thank you for being here. If you'd take a couple of seconds and drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notifications bell as I come out with like 8 videos a week here on the main channel. I don't want you to miss any of them. So thank you guys for being here, and let's get back to the content. Joe Mixon coming off of a short week. He says that he's good to go on Thursday. His coach, Zach Taylor, says he's fine to go on Thursday. So Mixon also in play for us here at captain, 1,300 there. Different situation. I'm not going to tie a quarterback to them if I've got Mixon as my captain in this spot. I said my captain in this spot. I'm not going to disallow it, but I don't really have running back rules that I utilize most often based on the way that my lineups come out. It's just, if I have a captain running back that I think he's going to be the optimal play, it doesn't really affect much else. So if you're going to have him, that's fine with me. The other two that I think we have to talk about are the two quarterbacks. Now, typically speaking, I've said this so many times that you guys are like, you could probably repeat it yourself. Quarterbacks at captain win on average 15% of the time over the course of all showdowns, right? Ever. But the difference is the captain quarterback that wins is not a pocket passer. It's a Jalen Hurts. It's a Josh Allen. It's a Lamar Jackson. It's a Patrick Mahomes. It's a, people don't think of Patrick Mahomes as a running quarterback. He's extremely mobile. He does run for touchdowns, and he tends, if he has like 4 or 5 touchdowns, to spread it out. It's rarely just to one guy. It happens sometimes, but like he has a tendency to throw touchdowns like Joey Fortson, Blake Bell and some other randos on his team, fullbacks and everything else. So like Joe Burrow, if he has a big day, it's likely going to go to one of 3 dudes, primarily Chase and Higgins. Behind them, maybe Tyler Boyd, but it's going to be rare that he has like a 400-yard, 5-touchdown day and those position players don't go off for more. So I'll allow some Joe Burrow at quarterback captain, but I'm probably going to limit that to be under 15% total with both of these quarterbacks. Same goes for Tua. If Tua has a monster day, right? If he has a day like this, like in week 2, where he scored 43.8 DraftKings points, you plug that into your captain and you get that 1.5x, you're living large. However, if you look at the guys who are attached to him, 45 points that day, and Waddle, 43 points that day. It's going to be extremely difficult for a quarterback like Tua to have another day like this ever in his career. But like more realistic is if he has like a 3-touchdown, 325-yard day, those wide receivers are going to outscore Tua more often than they're not, unless you get like an Edmonds touchdown and a Smythe touchdown and a Gesicki touchdown, right? That would be the route to Tua being the optimal captain in those spots. And that's why I limit these guys to like 5% based on that. I am not going to have a kicker or defensive captain. It does win sometimes. It's on the wrong side of the math. Be choosy about it. You play whoever you want to play. It is Showdown, but that's the way that I play. I target through the captain and then make sure that like I said, if I'm going to have Burrow as my captain, I'm going to plug in 2 of his pass catchers into every one of those lineups, whether I'm building that group through here. Hurst will be in that group unless he's going to miss that game. Then we'll go with one of their backups that is active for that game. Anybody that I project to catch passes, as well as his kicker, as that is a good correlated spot for the quarterback. Positive correlation between quarterbacks and kickers. Same thing for Tua. If we have Tua in our captain spot, if I can find him, I'm going to make sure that I have double the pass catchers, at least 2 from everybody in this group. Not going to include Edmonds in that group. Would include Gesicki, Smythe, Rivers, Craycraft, Sherfield, all of those guys, and Sanders, the kicker, in that Tua group. If I'm going to utilize him at captain, make sure that you have 2 of those guys. Obviously, you're going to have one bring back player. Make sure that that's a skill position player on the other side, not a defense or a kicker. No Kid Hungry is going to be the beneficiary of our fundraiser this year, trying to raise $50,000 from the community. If you like the content, if you've benefited from the content, if you've won money based on the pick'ems or the showdowns or the main slates or rainmakers or anything that I've done here on the channel, or if you just got a couple bucks laying around, No Kid Hungry is providing school breakfast and lunches to food insecure kids across America. No kid should have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, and you can make a difference. Every single dollar helps. If you have $1, $5, $20, or $100, anything that you can give all adds up. And every $10,000 that we raise as a community, that you raise as a community, I will be matching $10,000 myself, up to $50,000, giving us a total of $100,000 together. So be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. And let's take a look over at the lineup tool that they have at fantasylabs.com. You can go to smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L for some discounted pricing. The only place I believe that you can get a football only membership to Fantasy Labs is through my link. They also have, you get the all sports package for 6 months, which is the best deal on the site. You can get NFL, college football, NBA, baseball, golf, NHL, NASCAR, MMA, like projections and optimizer and articles and content for everything. That's your best bet. Yes, it costs you money up front, but like when you parse it out on a per slate basis, it's like $1 a slate over that 6 months. It's kind of a ridiculous deal to have access to these tools to cut down your research and building time throughout the week, because most of y'all, like everybody, has a 9-to-5 job that you got to take care of, and family, and that work-life balance is important. So here are the rules that I set. I'll allow 10% of the salary cap. I got 15% shuffle. I'm not allowing a kicker or defense at captain. The 5 rules that we had already talked about: pair your captain QB with at least 2 of their wide receiver, tight end, or kicker. Pair your captain quarterback with at least 1 of the skill position players from the opponent. Captain wide receiver with 1 quarterback from the same team. Captain tight end, same quarterback situation. And limit to at most 1 defense and kicker from the same game. Then you can build this custom rule: at least 1 running back, wide receiver, or tight end where the projected ownership is less than 20. Apply those settings. Come over here, build your 150 lineups in whatever way that you choose, and just realize that when you're using a lineup builder, it's not as simple as just plugging in some rules, clicking submit, and then you print money. You're going to have to do this a bunch of times to make sure that you get the exposures and combinations that you are really truly looking for. It does not take 1 run, it takes like 50. So don't think that you're just going to sign up for Fantasy Labs and immediately just start like printing money. It takes a lot more work than that. So I wish you the best of luck. We'll look for another video right there.
He's a legend.